Thanks for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. I'm your host, Lorenzo Melcher, coming to you not from PB Studios. I am not in my parents' basement today. I am in the office at my house, looking at our first snow today. I think we got a couple inches. That's why my face is nice and bright. I don't even have my light on. That's how white it is outside. So I get to stare at that while I'm interviewing my lovely guest today. But as I say every week, thank you for always liking, sharing, subscribing, downloading to the podcast, doing whatever you can to help the podcast grow. Every week we are growing incrementally, and I think it has a lot to do with you, all of you, but also with all my social media stuff that I'm tirelessly trying to do and break away and figure all that out. So it is hard, but it is turning into, I got it down to a science pretty good. I can get things out pretty fast. So continue to look at those and comment and interact and all that stuff. If you want to be on the podcast, just email thenerdballpodcast@gmail.com. And all the social medias are just the Nerdball Podcast. So thank you. Oh, yeah. And don't forget, Things I Learned is still coming out. This one on, actually, I don't know. I can't say which one is coming out because I don't know what order I want to put these podcasts in because I record them early. So just look for Things I Learned on Tuesday. I've been trying to do a better job of getting those out too. So thanks and enjoy the episode.
Hi, I'm Andrea Burtscher, and this is the Nerdball Podcast.
This is the Nerdball Podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
Awesome, Andrea. Thanks for coming on my podcast. I saw it. First of all, congratulations, because you are every time I see a post about you, it's like, hey, I have this new job, or I've been promoted, or I have this thing. So you seem like you're doing really well in your career. So we'll definitely talk about that. But for those who don't know, we went to grade school together all the way to 8th grade. And when we were talking on this podcast, it does seem like we haven't really talked since 1999. And I think
26 years.
I think a lot of that has to do with social media, because we see people's lives and we'll give a comment or a heart or whatever, and it's not that, it's just how it is now. But I'm excited for you to come on the podcast.
Well, thanks for having me, buddy. I know it's been friggin' forever.
Yeah.
I love that you do this too. This is fun. I was listening to some of your episodes. They're pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Thank you. The thing I remember about you, and I always think about it in the fall because I coach football at Perrysburg, and
This scares me. I don't know where this is going.
No, it's nothing big. I always think of Andrea, the soccer star, because that was like your thing. You played for is it the Celtics? I can't remember what it was.
I did. Yeah, I think I started off at the
That was
Celtics, and then I went to Greater Toledo Football Club, and then on to Toledo.
Yeah, that's what I was. So we'll get to that too, but that's what I couldn't remember where it ended, but I thought it ended well for you. So we'll get to your college life too. But before I start, because I have forgotten this question before, and this is the main point of the podcast, what is something you nerd out about? Something you're really into, just something to get away from the daily grind. I always give examples of reading or watching TV or baking or just something to, ease your mind and like, I'm going to get away from this today.
Sure. Well, it's funny. I can't say I nerd out.
Oh no, we haven't been freezing.
Chaos, because that is my life. But I really organize. Did you freeze, by the way?
No. One of us did. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna steal my son's cord so I can hardwire into my internet. So hold on.
Okay.
You'll be all right. Matter though. You good?
You want to try the snow?
What is it?
Flavored snow.
What'd you put in it?
Flavor.
I mean, what flavor?
Raspberry lemonade.
Oh, it's hard.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm. All right. Bye.
Bye. Where's the camera?
In his room.
Bye.
I'm like a child, like, Dad, come taste the snow. Like, wait, what'd you put in?
Yeah, what's going on? I know my
She-
sister sent me a picture. She's like, well, it was just supposed to be flurries. And I'm like, well, maybe that's Ohio's version of flurries.
Yeah, actually, we get pretty lucky about a lot of things usually split right around Toledo. All the storms and stuff, even rain. But yeah, today's a couple inches, and she put in a strawberry lemonade, like one of those water packets. She put it in
Yeah.
snow. She goes, Dad, taste the snow. I'm like, all right. At least it wasn't
Right.
lemonade. It would have been yellow. That would have been terrible.
Entrepreneurial spirit, trying to make some snow cones out of actual snow. I get it.
She has those rubber band bracelets. Her and her friends always have sales out in our front yard, and they sell rubber band bracelets
That's
all the
great,
time.
man.
All
That's
the time.
great.
Yeah. They've been doing it for forever. They
Good
get
for
bored.
them.
Yeah. Then the winter comes and everything shuts down. So
Yeah, well, so there's
Yeah.
that. Outdoor sports and the, winter sports.
yeah. All right. Sorry. So hopefully my son was sad that I'm taking it off his computer, but he wasn't playing anyway. So he's been on his phone.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah. All right. So nerd out. I got the question out and then everything froze. So what is your answer to this?
Outside of work, look, I love to nerd out on outdoors, hiking, exploring new trails, especially here. I'm in Middle Tennessee and getting over to East Tennessee where the Smokies are. It's gorgeous and beautiful. And so I've been doing a lot of that lately, but finding quiet spots to reset, clear my head, it's honestly how I recharge and get perspective. There's something about being outside that helps me slow down and recenter after living this high energy world of radio and events and chaos. So yeah, that's what I nerd out on.
Is that like you mentioned significant other, and is that something you do by yourself, or is that something you like, hey, come on, we're gonna do this too, we need to get out?
We do it together, actually. He loves
Nice.
it more than I do. So that was a happy find, when we started dating. He likes to do the backcountry camping where you don't have a hotel or indoor plumbing or a toilet.
You say it like
That's
you
not
don't like that.
really my favorite. I look, I don't mind a cabin, but as long as I can like have a toilet and running water, I'm
Mm.
good. So yeah, he's a little bit more extreme than I am. I'm like, let's just go see nature and the trails and then go back to the cabin.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that as well. I mean, I didn't grow up. Maybe living in Toledo, and my parents never were into it. So I grew up not like fishing or hunting or hike or any of that stuff. It just wasn't my thing. So when people talk about it, like I'm same thing. Like, give me a cabin, running water, throw a shower in there, good to go.
Yeah.
Like I'm good without Wi-Fi or television. I'm fine with that. But yeah, give me that. I want to be clean.
Same. Yeah, I know. And it's nice. You know how crazy things can get, especially with a family and kids.
Mhm.
And sometimes you just need to sit back and recharge and have some quiet. So that's really what I nerd out on. I'm always looking at, what next thing can I go and explore? And especially in Tennessee, there's tons of it.
Do you have favorite places to go?
I do. There's one that's just within driving distance of where I live right now. It has great trails and it feels like it's removed enough from the city so that you're not getting that craziness, but I also don't have to drive 3 hours to get there.
You mentioned great trails several times. What makes a great trail for you? Like, what is it like? Oh yeah, this is why you continue to go to this place.
I love something that seems more secluded.
Mm.
I do love the hills. And I just don't like trails that are like super busy. You'll find those ones that are closest. Heck, you work for the metro parks, right? So
Mhm.
you know how it is. Over there at Wildwood, everybody knows those trails, right? And don't get me wrong, I love Wildwood. I grew up
Yeah.
on those trails. It's probably where a lot of my love comes from the trails, is there. But I don't know, side cut, I feel like in Toledo is a little bit more less known, if you will, than like a
Mhm.
Wildwood where I'd like to find those and it allows me again to have that quiet where people aren't like, hey, I'm coming by or move or somebody's moving slow or what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Those are the
It's
ones I
it,
like the most.
yeah, and it's more like this is a sense of like this is my trail right now because nobody else is
Yes.
out here. I
Yes.
can just be me and be by myself and sit on
Hmm.
this bench or whatever for a little bit without knowing someone's coming across.
Yeah, it can be all woods or if there's water nearby, that's great too. I mean, I'm not too picky.
that's the downside of the park that I manage is Glass City Metro Park, the new one on East Toledo. And
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. So that's the downside is that it is there's not trees. Like it was a vacant thing. So so there are like we planted a bunch of stuff, but it's gonna be 50 years before these things are big, you
Right.
know? And
Yep.
so uh so that is a drawback, especially if I've had staff like yeah, I want to like be in a park. Like I get it. I managed Pearson Metro Park too in Oregon, which is
Yeah.
in the woods and everything, you know. So
Yeah.
so I've had both, and I understand when people say that. So it is cool. It is because you forget, and you mentioned it. You forget that you're like in this city, you know. Now
Hmm.
where you're at, the city's probably bigger than Toledo, but you still hear cars and there's still people around. So sometimes getting away and just being like, oh yeah, I'm not here right now. I feel like I'm somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pearson's a great park too. Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, that's that was my first park I managed, and first time I realized like there are people who have their park and they are very passionate about what you're doing or not doing in their park.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah, which
Huh?
is fine, like because it works both ways. Like it keeps us in check. Like, all right, hey, we got to be doing these things or making sure these are clean because we know so and so is going to be using them or whatever. But also they watch after the park and they'll let us know like if
Yeah.
something's broken or if they saw someone doing something they're not supposed to, they'll say something to them. So it works both ways, and it definitely benefits us more than it hurts us. So
I think another thing that I really like about it though too is that I am passionate about fitness and people, living the best healthy lifestyle. And it makes me happy to see people out there like exercising and getting out
mm.
and doing something. So I also feed off that energy. And I know I'm contradicting myself a little bit because I just said I like not having people around me, but at the same time, I do because I like to feed off like I think it's like a lot of it is good energy with people getting out in nature like that too. I
Also
sound
there's
very hippie-like maybe right now,
that
but
no, that's good. Also there are times where you're right, like it is a little both sides of the coin, but there I'm sure there's days where like I don't want anybody to be healthy right now. I just want to be on a trip by myself.
yeah, go be healthy on the other trails, okay?
Yeah. Andrea, we mentioned at the beginning that we grew up together, and you lived in Toledo, and uh, and you asked me before the podcast if I was in kindergarten, and you were in kindergarten at Our Lady of Lourdes too, right? Do you remember? Uh, do you remember any like? Do you have memories at all of Our Lady of Lourdes, or even like because I have one. I remember and I don't know if you remember her name or not. I remember taking one of my mom's necklaces, and I was in kindergarten. We were in kindergarten, taking one of my mom's necklaces and giving it to Stephanie Freiberger. Do you remember her? By
Yeah, I remember that name.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember giving it to her, and then my mom got a call from her mom, like, I think Lorenzo gave Stephanie something that is actual jewelry, which it was. But I think about that sometimes, especially as my kids are going through school, like all these things that I remember.
Yeah, I have several memories. I mean, I remember being thrown up on by Megan Tarsha. Um, that one, I think I just have PTSD from that. And like that really awful, whatever that stuff is that they throw on vomit.
Just like sawdust.
Yeah, it has weird apple scent. I don't know. That was what, third grade, I think. And I still have PTSD from it. And anytime I smell it, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going back to third grade.
You
And it
know,
was funny because you and I
yeah.
went through like all the awkward phases together, right? Like
Yeah.
we were really in the trenches together in that respect.
You know what made it harder as we got older and into fifth, sixth, seventh grade, and is that when you're in bigger schools, you can kind of hide yourself a little bit. But we couldn't when we had 13 kids in our eighth grade, right? So like it was I think about it now as a 40-year-old adult, like that kind of sucked because you couldn't like hide from anything, but also you kind of had to navigate some of those things that maybe you could hide from because everyone's going to know everything
Yeah,
about everything, and it's kind of a real world thing. And it, I think looking back on it, it was probably more helpful than hurtful.
I think so too. You get that more of one-on-one attention too.
Mm-hmm.
I also remember, do you remember it was an eighth grade trip, right? We went out
To
to
DC.
DC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that too. And I remember walking through Gettysburg. That was really weird and creepy.
Yeah, those are the things I think about too. I was like, man, I wish I could go back as an adult because I would appreciate it so much more.
I know. Oh my God, I know, right? We're just like, when do we get to eat? Oh, I'm done walking. Okay, there's blood on that stone. It's been there for 200 years, whatever. That's not weird to me.
Nope, nope.
Spirit's gonna follow me home, whatever.
This is. I just want to get back in the cool bus that we never get to ride in.
Yeah.
It's charter bus.
Charter, yeah.
Yeah. That's fun. I found that picture of our school and the teachers and chaperones a few years ago. I think when I posted on Facebook, I think I tagged everyone that I'm friends with on that was in the picture. But I remember looking at all of us. I'm like, gosh, this is so. I mean, we mentioned
That's
26 years ago, so long ago.
the one on the steps.
Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh, and exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I think I
Oh,
have
we
one.
all look so weird.
I know. Yes, it is. It is a weird thing, especially now because we're either all have turned 40 or will be turning 40 shortly, and it is a a weird thing. But it was. I never think about. Every time I think about our school, our elementary schools, that it wasn't. I never have any bad memories besides weird ones getting thrown up on or what there was
Yeah.
nothing like as a kid you look back like yeah that was good, that was fun.
I don't either, to be quite honest. I think something to this day that still upsets me is um, Mrs. Dick. Remember her?
Yeah, our gym
Uh,
teacher
she gave
and
us,
computer teacher both.
yes, yes, everybody. That was her last name. I'm not just
Yes.
making up a euphemism for how I felt about her. Um, she gave me a B in gym because I was too cocky. One time I said something to her. I was like, "What? I'm just gonna win it anyway." She's like, "Well, you're getting a B in the class." And I'm like, "What? I'm one of the best athletes in
I was
here."
say
Oh my gosh.
you weren't lying, like you
I'm
whatever
just gonna win
whatever
anyway. So
whatever
what?
yes, whatever physical activity we were doing, you were going to be top 3, top 2, whatever it was, boys and girls.
Looking back on it now, I did deserve that B for saying that. I mean, humility is a very good thing to have in your life, everybody.
She brought you a whole letter grade down for not having it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I whenever I talk to people about my elementary or our elementary, it's like, yeah, we ate lunch in our gym. We had the pool tables out. We had kindergarten through 8th grade, and there was like 260 kids in the entire school. And they're like, "Where'd you go to school?" In
It was one
Toledo.
hallway, and that was it. It
Yeah, it
worked.
was.
I don't know.
Oh, 100%. But people like, I don't know about you, but I was in a shock. It shocked my system when I went to Perrysburg as a freshman when I had 350 kids in my grade.
Yeah. 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 It was a little bit, I guess, I it wasn't so crazy for me going to Central because I had started already like conditioning with
Mhm.
those humans before school started.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too crazy for me. Plus my brother and sister went there and I was around their friends all the time. And
Did you have some of our classmates go there?
it was Kyle
Mm-hmm.
Hoffman, Megan Tarsha, and LaDonna Moore.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was us four that went. Yeah.
Kyle. That was I we are such good friends. Like we would hang out. I remember I've said the story on this podcast before whenever I talk about Pokemon because I remember one time it was me, Kyle, and Andrew. Was it Andrew? I think so. I can't remember for sure. But we went to Kyle's house and we stayed up all night. We were playing Pokemon Snap, the game where you just take pictures of Pokemon. That's
I mean, people wouldn't understand Pogs these days. Kids would be like,
no,
"Look,
you're
let's
right.
play Pogs." They'd be like, "Is it what? What are you guys doing?"
We have some of those too. Whenever we clean things out, we find things, and we had a whole tube of Pogs.
I loved Pogs.
Yeah, yeah. The slammers. I had a
Oh, can we bring them back? I don't
holographic slam.
know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's people that have them and do something with them. I'm sure there's a Facebook group.
I'm sure there is. Look, the retro stuff is back in, so I wouldn't be surprised if Pogs makes a resurgence. And Lorenzo, I think we need to get into the ground level of that now that we're talking about it. So
We need to
come up
get
with some
yeah.
Pog designs, Slammer designs. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That it doesn't matter. Those designs can be so simplistic. It does. You just manufacture them. Just I like that. Yep, throw it on there. Keep making them. Keep making them.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I remember recess. We were Foursquare nerds. So much Foursquare, and then
My
just kicking a ball up against the wall of the back of the gym. That's it. That's it. That was entertainment. You kick a ball up against the wall, and that was it.
my
I could
daughter,
still do that today and probably be entertained, to be quite honest.
yeah, I think so. My daughter and her friend, they draw a Foursquare thing in our driveway, and we play Foursquare. We played last weekend actually.
Oh my, I haven't played Foursquare in so long. I'm kind of jealous now.
It was very fun. They don't have any rules though, basically. Like they were
Oh,
hitting it and it bounced twice in their square. I'm like, well, you're out. They're like, no, it was still bouncing. I go, yeah, but it can only bounce once.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they had to figure out, we had to like, I had to sit down like, all right, here are the rules. If we're gonna play, we got to have some ground rules.
There's gotta be rules. Yeah.
I
Everybody
thought,
wins. No, they don't.
I thought it was, yeah. They're like, you want to play Foursquare? I'm like, yeah, I'll play. I haven't played in forever. Same thing. Like we had this kickball that I bought for a football thing I was doing, and so they started playing it, and I was playing it. It was a lot of fun. I think we ended up with 6 people playing. So yeah, it was. Now their squares they drew weren't perfectly square
Square.
or the
Yeah.
same size. So
Yeah. Well,
it's all right. That's all right.
advantages, whatever.
Yeah.
There's some kind of strategy to that. I always get this square. It's the smallest one.
um, so I mentioned too how you played soccer growing up, as
Mhm.
did I for a little bit. I think I stopped somewhere around 7th grade, maybe. Um, but that was like I said, I always remember you being. You mentioned you were very athletic. You really like soccer, and you were good at it. And that led you to some cool doing some cool things. But do you remember starting soccer at all, or do you remember like the first time you started playing, or why you started playing soccer?
Yeah. It was at Lourdes, and I think I was 6 or 7. And I was, the best way to put this,
Forced.
very enthusiastic about my athletic endeavors,
Okay.
to where I needed something else to do other than just run, because I started out in cross country. I think I
Yeah,
started
me
running
too.
cross when I was like 5 or something like
Yeah.
that. My parents are like, okay, maybe Andrea can get into something that doesn't have what could be considered a weapon, like baseball or something, and we'll let her do soccer because she still likes to run. So yeah, I think it was like, and I remember you remember that field that was over there by the church?
By the
That's where we
parking lot.
that's where we
Hmm.
practiced.
Hmm.
It's in that field.
Yep. Do you? What do you? What do you equate your like drive of like? I'm going to be really competitive or athletic. Is it just because you're the youngest sibling, or is it like what do you think that is?
I mean, it could be. I
Yeah.
definitely idolized my brother, and in a sense still do. And he was always an athletic guy. Um, and very competitive. I was
Hmm.
just always competitive. And, growing up as us, we were always outside. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, if I'm competitive, we always have to be outside. I'm going to be good at something, and we got these sports, so I guess I'll do that. Because we played baseball together too. I think I only played for like 1 or 2
Yeah.
seasons.
My
Wasn't
dad
your
was
dad a
the coach.
coach? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I just
it's
remember
the
him
same
going,
thing for
Mihawk.
me. Yeah. Same thing for me. Like I've always been drawn. I was just drawn to sports. My dad wasn't into sports. My mom wasn't super into sports, but I think that's one of those things where all right, my friends are doing it, so I'm going to do it too. And then you find something that you're really good at. And for me, it was football, and for you, it was soccer. And when did you like? Well, before I asked you when you like continue that, but I remember soccer again. I don't know if it was around junior high or maybe 5th or 6th grade. I remember our little Lords team was in the championship game of our CYO, and I don't know if I'm making this up or if this has really happened, but I remember 2 years in a row we were in the championship game, and at least one of those, maybe both years, we lost on penalty kicks, and I was the goalie.
Oh, that's the worst. That is the worst thing ever. I feel so bad for keepers in that situation. Like, I feel like I failed doing my job as on the field
Mhm.
if it gets to that place where I
Yeah,
fI let my keeper down. I'm like, dang it, I didn't play well enough or whatever. But or if it was a 0-0 game, then okay, then it goes into a shootout. But
yeah.
I don't remember that.
I'll never forget because it's not like a devastating thing, but I just remember I was like, that's probably when I stopped playing soccer.
Right? It can definitely lead to some PTSD for kids. It's tough. Keeper
Yeah.
is one of the toughest positions on the field. I will always say that.
Well, I slowly like I remember starting soccer. I was always defense. And then eventually, I don't know however I made my way into the goal, but They were fond memories. It was good. Besides, we still remember those losses. But for you, again, we mentioned. Uh, I guess it was travel soccer you played, right? Would
Mhm.
that be considered travel soccer? I know it's different now than it was then.
Oh, to get into college?
Well, even like it was like when we were in still in seventh, eighth grade, you were playing for the Celtics, and then those. But
Yeah. I started, I think I started sixth grade playing
okay.
travel. I started at the Celtics and then went to GTFC. I mean, I don't even know if those clubs even exist anymore. Um, yeah, and it was actually at GTFC that I played for the assistant coach at Toledo.
Oh,
She was one of the coaches at GTFC.
was that when you were in high?
Yeah.
Did you play that with them in high school?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, when I was in high school. And funny enough, I had recruiters looking at me about my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
So freshman year, I tore my first ACL, and then junior year, I tore my second ACL,
Oh,
and letters stopped coming in, kind of thing.
oh
I'm
yeah.
damaged. I'm damaged goods at that point. And but I still
So
had a
so
drive.
before that, like, sorry, I want to before your ACLs, like what does that recruiting look like for you?
Honestly, I don't know how they were doing it. I mean, I just go out and play. We tried to get into like the bigger tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I don't even know if USA Cup exists anymore, but I think it's Wisconsin, Minnesota, Wisconsin, one of those.
Okay.
They had like 20 or 19 different countries playing. I was playing U16 as U14.
Oh wow.
So I was trying to get as much playing time on a good team as possible. And their U16 Celtics U16 team at that time was very good, very, very
Mm-hmm.
good team. So as a U14-year-old, the 16-year-olds are like, who's this kid? Um, and they really didn't want to give me any playing time. But then when I went in, we ended up getting some goals and some stuff and saw some results. So I think it was just me going out and saying, wherever I can get exposure. Did I need to be a part of the Olympic development program? No, not necessarily. I know it's definitely different these days. And yeah, we had politics back in our day, but I don't think it was as bad as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just knowing enough people and networking, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
That's how I got into college.
That's I try to tell the kids I coach too, like, look, just be a good human being because you never know who's going to be around or what someone's going to be able to do for you.
Right.
Like this person's dad or this person's mom knows somebody or whatever. Like all these
Absolutely.
things, like interact with each other and just you don't have to be like overly nice to people, but just be courteous, be a good human and things I'm not going to say things will work out because that's an impossibility to know that, but you'll be better off just being nice to people and when you might need something.
Yeah. I will always say, like, sports let me get out of my shell, one, because it gave me confidence, but two, because you're always in some respect networking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when you tore the second time you tore an ACL, was that the opposite one or the same one?
This is the opposite one. This is the other one.
Oh god dang.
Yeah.
Did it happen like in a game both times?
Both times did. The first time we were actually playing at the Glass Bowl when they still
Oh
had their old crappy
yeah.
um, turf.
Mm-hmm.
And I just planted my foot and boom, there went my ACL. That was when I was 14. And then, yeah, the second one was I came off a head ball and I just felt it pop. It didn't even hurt. So what to come find out, my orthopedic surgeon was giggling once I woke up from my surgery. He's like, I've never seen an ACL like this before. Look, it's shredded. I'm like, oh, cool. It wasn't just like a clean tear. I
Yeah,
guess it
okay.
was slowly shredding over the years. And that's why when I just came off a head ball, it just
Oh,
popped, right?
okay.
And I knew immediately what it was. Oh my gosh, it was so devastating.
Yeah,
I couldn't
and
go back out in the field.
yeah, I was gonna say as a high school kid, like because I've seen it, it happened twice. It happened to two kids this year, both seniors, their senior year of football, and they had to be, I think, one or two games in, they had a kid both tear their ACLs. And but as a kid, for you, like, do you remember how you felt and like what your mentality was? Because that is you got to have a lot of people behind you to pick you up for that stuff.
Well, yeah, like the first, 2 weeks, I was just like inconsolable.
Mhm.
and my career is over and I'm never, then at some point I just snapped out of it and was like, okay, I'm going to rehab this and then see what I can make happen. And I'm going to come back stronger than ever and just go for it. And I did. And
Yeah.
luckily, the assistant coach at Toledo at the time, she saw that and she was like, yeah, Andrea's got some heck of a drive. She's behind a little bit when it comes to a skill set because I'd lost, almost two and a half
Mhm.
years of very important development years. But she saw it in me and I was able to be a walk on at Toledo.
The when you're going to Toledo, was that the only spot? Like at some point, you're like, well, letters aren't coming in anymore. I still want to play soccer. Was that really the only place you looked at to try to be a walk on?
I think so. I think it was. I mean, otherwise I was going to go to Ohio State. So I stayed at Toledo because they gave me the opportunity to play soccer. There were some D2 schools, that
Yeah.
were reaching out to me too, but this is going to sound very snobby but I'm just going to say it. I didn't want to play D2. I mean, if I was
Yeah.
going to play and I was going to dedicate my time to this, it was going to be Division 1 because Division 2 is very, very, very different. At
Hmm.
least back then it was. To me, it was like playing varsity soccer in high school. In Division 1, it's a totally different ball game.
I don't think you're it's snotty to be like, this is what I want to do. I mean, you know what you want to do, and we have kids that go on every year, go on to play college football, and some as coaches we say like, look, you can go try to be a walk on, or you can go, go to this Division 1 school, but these other schools, if you go, you'll, and I'm sure they told you the same thing, you'll get more playing time, or you'll
Right.
start right away, or you'll do this, and you just
Yep.
got to weigh what your thoughts are, and whatever decision they make, we'll still be behind them, but we just want to give all the information so you're aware of, like, these coaches, some of these coaches might just be blowing smoke up your ass because they want you here, like we get it, but ultimately it was your decision to make, and I'm sure your parents helped you too, and everyone around you, but you got to do what you think is right for you, and ultimately I'm sure your thought was, all right, well, I got 4 more years of this, max. Maybe you thought that, maybe you didn't, but most people are like, I got 4 more years of doing this, I'm gonna go do it where I want to do it, and be happy about it.
That was exactly my thought process. And it's funny because the my dad's never been disappointed in me, right? I've never had the parents go, Andrea, we're disappointed in you.
Mm-hmm.
Other than there was one time, and I don't think he used the word disappointed. He was just like, I don't agree with your decision. And it
Mm-hmm.
was I stopped playing basketball because I was pretty darn good at basketball too. Yes, I would plow through people. But I remember when I tore my ACL, I missed a season. So I played my freshman year at Central, and Central at the time had a really good women's basketball program. We're going to states in Division 1, and I stopped playing because I tore my ACL, and I went back to the head coach next year and I said, "Hey, what are my chances?" Because it was really competitive.
Yeah.
And the head coach is like, "I don't know, Andrew. You've missed a lot of development. I'd say your chances aren't good." And so I just didn't go out for it. And my dad was really upset about that. He's like, there's more scholarships in basketball than there are in soccer. And he's not wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is what I want to pursue. I want to pursue soccer. And then the assistant women's basketball coach at Central, everybody loved him. And he stopped talking to me for a second. And I'm like, why is this man like ignoring me and not talking? What did I do? I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And finally, one day I just approached him and I'm like, did I do something wrong? I don't remember kicking your puppy. And he was like, Andrea, you should have never let him talk you out of not
Mm-hmm.
trying out for basketball. He's like, I bet you would have made it. And he's like, it's really sad to see, and he gave me some perspective there. And so that's always stuck out with me. And to me, it felt like quitting. So I've never since that point ever wanted to continue, like quit, if you will.
Yeah.
I've always continued against several different hurdles in my athletic career and health to continue to see how far I could push it.
Yeah, and I think that was a good thing that he told you, because like you
Yeah.
said, it's like, hey, don't let other people persuade you from doing what you want to do, especially if it's, there's going to be people like, hey, don't do this because it's not safe, but that's not what this was. This was
No.
like, hey, you're probably not going to make it, um but that is, and even hearing you talk about your dad saying, "Hey, I don't like your decision." That is, as a kid, to hear your parents say that kind of stuff too. That sucks too.
Yeah.
You gotta, I've had my parents and I have a really good relationship, and they've said things.
I love
Not
your
like,
parents, by the way. Tell them I said hi.
oh, I
Anyway.
will. My dad listens to every episode, so he'll talk about this too. So like there are times where like there are hard discussions, and now as a parent, like my son's 14 and my daughter's 11, like there are hard things that you have to do as a parent, and you're just going to feel like garbage afterward. And my dad talks about it now. He's like, there are things, he's like just last night my daughter was putting on a performance. She made like two sock puppets for Wicked, and she was doing a performance, and I was like, all right, Lil, we're gonna finish this game. And I was like, go show Mimi wants to see. And my dad's like, you're gonna think about that when you're my age, and you're gonna be sad about it, because I'm sad all the time. I go, Dad,
Oh my gosh. I'm sad all the time.
I think about those moments. I think about them all the time. But going back to your dad, like I'm sure that was a hard thing for him. Like he could have just not said anything,
Yeah, I think it
but
was. I mean, it was really important for him to say. My dad's not like an overly, boisterous human. He's always been really reserved, unless he thinks it's important to say, then he
yeah,
will,
yeah.
and he did. And that was a tough conversation to have.
Mhm. So after you tear your ACL for the second time, does this affect your senior season too? Like at
It
Central?
did.
So you
It
couldn't
did.
play at all?
Nope. So I
Mm.
could. I was cleared to play, but my coach wouldn't let me.
Uh,
She played college soccer too. She actually played at BG.
oh,
And she said the same thing to me. She's like, it's not worth it, especially if you're looking to play in college. She's like, just continue to keep rehabbing and getting strong, and then your chances will be better in college.
mm,
Because she knew I was trying, and at that point knew that I was going to be going to Toledo. So
okay.
she wouldn't let me play.
That's wild.
But the thing is like, it's funny. I only played freshman and junior year varsity soccer, and I lettered all 4 years
Ah,
because I went to every single practice. I never
yeah.
missed a practice, even if I
Okay.
couldn't play. I was still on the team,
Hmm.
and she saw fit to give me a letter for every year.
That's cool. That's cool. It's a good coach, and obviously something that sticks with you, and you'll do these things, and you think like, oh yeah, that's something this coach would have done or said or whatever, for whatever coach that may be.
It's
Um,
amazing the impressions that coaches leave on people, and I know what it did for me. I can only hope like someday I'm able to like leave those kind of impressions on humans too,
mhm.
right?
Yeah, and you got to think too, like in your career as a professional adult, like
Mhm.
there are times where you are in charge of people, and that is
Yep. Oh
that is
yeah.
the same thing, right? As coaching, like you are
Yep.
showing these people how to do their job or helping them how to do their job. And that's the same thing where people know, they know and feel what a good boss is and what a bad boss is. And if you have the right staff, they'll tell you if you're doing a good job or a bad job. And so that is important, and I'm sure you've had that uh effect on somebody in your career, because you are continuing to progress in your career and reach newer heights and all that stuff. So it only tells me that you're doing something correctly, where there are people underneath you that are like, yeah, she deserves that, or she does a good job because she's helped me with this or that. It's important to know um the things you're doing. And now I sound like a dad. The things
Oh,
you're doing
I
on a
love
daily
it.
basis, the things you're doing on a daily basis is affecting other people, and the people that are seeing it are also giving you those opportunities because you're doing a good job. So
Hmm. Yep.
there.
It's nice to have perspective.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So you walk on to UT. Did you know what you wanted to do when you got into college or going into college?
I knew I wanted to be in communications. So I just started out in communications, and then I had a concentration in public relations.
what
Um,
what does what does a high school kid know, like this is what I want, like what drew you to that?
oh, that is a great question. I honestly, I don't know where my head was at. I
Mhm.
think with communications, it was just such a broad spectrum of
Yeah.
opportunities.
Okay.
And I was not smart enough to go into, pharmacy or engineering. Uh,
Same. Same. I mean, I didn't really go to college until I think I graduated when I was 24. So I was the same. Like, I
Yeah,
uh, I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. But yeah,
but it was the right path for me,
yeah,
and I did realize that I didn't want to be in a PR firm after a while, and I interned at the local radio station that I grew up listening to, K100 WKKO Toledo. And going back to what you said, like I knew my soccer career was not going to continue from there. And at that point, I asked myself, well, what do I love to do? And I loved country music, so I started as an intern at K100, was hooked from there. That was
nice.
in 2006, and I've been in radio ever since.
Really,
Yep.
radio. Which I always feel like there are things I hear like, well, radio's dead, and then like, oh, it's back, and then oh, it's getting cut. No, it's here again. Like,
And it's interesting to say that too, because I think radio as a format itself has had a hard time marketing itself,
mm,
because radio isn't going away. It's not going away. And we need to do a better job of marketing why we're still an important medium. And I think we're getting back to that. It's important to, and I'm just going to speak to country here because
mm,
I know that format the best. But it's important to the artists and the songwriters to still have their music on a terrestrial radio station versus a DSP, which is a digital service provider. Everybody, sorry for the acronyms. Um, because their payout from that is the so much more in a terrestrial radio spin than it is a digital service provider
mm,
spin. There's a lot more money in that, and there's a lot of exposure in it too. And some people are like, only older people listen to the radio. That's not true. Not everybody can afford, an Apple subscription or a Spotify
yeah,
subscription.
yeah.
Um, and terrestrial radio still hits a lot of folks, and especially in times of uh, bad weather or something.
Hmm.
You can't get it from those guys.
Are there when you were interning, what is something that, because sometimes people will intern and they're like, nope, I can't. This, yeah, I'll finish my internship, but I got to do something else. But obviously, this stuck. But what was it that was just like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I mean, look, I loved listening to K100 growing up. I loved the on-air personalities, Shores and Steele, rest both their souls. Where we're the morning show at the time, and I started to work events with them, and they were so supportive of me. They're like, "My
Mm,
gosh, whatever you need, however we can help you, you let us know." I'm like, "Oh my God, these are like the guys I grew up listening to. They're celebrities."
yeah.
And I was a bit like fangirlish, and I'm like, I can't believe that these guys are willing to do this for me. But there's an energy about it, the people, the promotions, the live events. I started working live
Mm,
events. Um, and I was just hooked, especially the live event side of it. I was like, oh my gosh, how do I get to the point where I can lead these things and produce these things? And I always pursued it, and then I did.
music to me is, it was never like top. Like I never got super into music besides high school. High school, I was into rap music because my brother liked rap music, and then even now, I just went to a concert on Wednesday. Jack's Mannequin, this
Uh-huh.
emo type band.
Yeah.
But that's all music I listen to is emo music. But it never
Emo music is
graduated.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never graduated from that. So I stay there, and every once in a while, because our our football locker room is filled with rap music, I'll find something new that I like. I like bass. I like to hear a beat. It's good. Um, but I never got into music. So concerts to me were never a thing growing up. My friends always
Yeah.
went. I just stayed home. But recently, I've been going to concerts because all the bands I listen to are doing like 20th anniversary of this
I
record, and
know.
yeah, but it's
We're
so
old.
fun. It's so much fun. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I wish I would have went to concerts when I was in high school because it was just something I didn't do.
Well, hey, now you are, so now you can get
Yeah,
that experience.
but now it sucks because I got to stand for 2 hours and my
So,
knees hurt.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I just
I don't
had
have to tell you. Yeah.
yeah. Well, when I was 28, I tore my left ACL again.
Oh
So
my
that
god,
was, I've had 6 knee surgeries so far.
six. Holy crap.
It's terrible. I'm like, I was playing, beer league co-ed in Arizona. I was living in Arizona at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to go clear a ball from the back, and it just popped, and it didn't hurt because
Yeah.
there's no nerves in there anymore. It was already a
Oh.
synthetic ligament, if you will. And I just walked off the field. I didn't even say anything to anybody. I just walked off the field, went to the sidelines, looked at the guy that ran our team. I'm like, I gotta go ice my knee. And I was like, I'll talk to you later. And after that, saw an orthopedic surgeon like 2 days later, and of course my ACL was torn.
That's when the last time I hurt my back really bad. I was playing adult league kickball and I hurt my
Uh,
back. just
yeah,
just fielding a ball in the outfield. I'm like, oh, yep, that doesn't feel good.
just slipped a disc.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I had I think I had a surgery when I was like 24 or 23. I had a back surgery, and then luckily I've avoided them. I've been seeing a chiropractor that's helped immensely. Otherwise, I'd have had
Yeah.
another surgery. But yeah, yeah, that was the hardest part about the concert was just like, all right, we got to be here for 2.5 hours. But again, it was fun, and you obviously like that aspect of those live events. Is that as you're going in your career, did you identify that pretty early on? Like, yep, this is what's going to happen for me,
I
or this is what I
did.
want.
I
Yeah,
identified that pretty early on. I knew
yeah.
that I wanted to be behind the scenes. I think I'm like one of maybe three humans I know throughout my whole career that never wanted to be on air. I always just
I
wanted
was
to be
gonna ask you
behind the
that too.
scenes.
Yeah,
Nope, never wanted to be on air, ever. And sometimes when people would put me on air, I'm like, this is awful, guys. Can you take me off the air? Like, this is what everybody wants to do, Andrea. I'm like, not me.
that's great. Yeah, I mean, I have this podcast. I love talking. I love finding out information, interviewing people. Like it is a fun thing. Also, there's not a lot of work to this, so I think that's part of what I like too. Is that I literally have zero notes going into it, and I just talk, have a conversation, and then I do all the notes and stuff after the fact. But I can so this is easy, but I look at other jobs like, oh yeah, sports reporter, which I think would be fun too. All right, well you gotta schedule stuff, you gotta know what you're gonna ask, then you gotta come back and edit, like all these things. I'm like, no, that's not the fun part. Is just talking to people. Like that's
And
the
there's a
fun
lot
part.
of work into it, yeah.
Yeah.
And probably a lot more these days because everybody's been downsizing. So,
Hmm. Yes.
an on-air personality back in the day used to just be a talking head, whereas now it's like you got to be a social influencer. You have to. Some of them are doing three other jobs, not just being on the air. They're scheduling the music, or they're helping to run events, or they're doing promotions. It's not just that anymore. Just
Yeah.
opening a mic and talking.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your new position, that one that you just got?
Operations manager. So it this is a long journey to get here,
Sure.
but it combines everything that I love. So it's operations, live production, artist relations, strategic partnerships. I oversee day-to-day operations of a Nashville studio. So
Oh,
if I back up a little bit, I moved to Nashville in 2002 from the San Francisco Bay Area, where I was there for 15 months. Prior to that, I was almost 13 years in Phoenix.
okay.
But I moved in 2002 here as director of country promotions and experiences. I spearheaded all our big
Wait,
national
2022.
2022.
Okay, you said 2002, I think. So I
Oh my
wanted to.
gosh.
I was like, wait a
Sorry.
minute. That does. So all right.
I was in high school when I
I
did
just wanted
this,
to clear. I
so
just want to clear that up. That's all.
thank you. Uh, and
So
I
you moved.
spearheaded all like the big national marketing promotions live events for our country portfolio, so national level, and also managed our Nashville studio that we had here. So our company is a little different. Our company doesn't have a market in Nashville. So I work for the second largest radio group in the United States, Audacy, and we have several big, massive markets. Nashville's just not one of them.
Oh, really?
What we did, yeah. So what we did is obviously Nashville's the hub and head of country music, and we
Hmm.
have these massive country brands throughout the United States. We struck up a deal with the Hard Rock Entertainment team, and they're like, well, let's build a studio at our cafe on Lower Broadway, where
Oh.
everybody parties and all the bachelorettes are. Um, we have a studio right there on Lower Broadway inside the Nashville Hard Rock Cafe. So we built this beautiful state-of-the-art studio on the third floor, what we call the penthouse of the cafe, of course. And our nationally syndicated on-air personality, she's middays on all of our country stations. Her name's Katie Neal. She broadcasts out of there. So I've been doing that since as of like 3 weeks ago, and I got this
Okay.
new position as the operations manager. So I still oversee the day-to-day operations of our studio, but I also get to produce and be the air traffic controller, if you will, of Katie and Company. So
Oh.
I said, our nationally syndicated show here, and
Yeah.
she's she's on 20 of our stations, Audacy stations, and then she has a good amount of external affiliate stations that are not Audacy too. So
Okay.
we're looking to grow the show, and it's a massive show. And it's a massive role, and I'm excited to dive into it. I've never been on the production side, so I'm learning a lot of stuff right
Ah,
now, but
okay.
um, I'm never backing down from a challenge, so I think this will be a lot of fun.
How I always feel like sometimes when I either get a new position or been working in this position, I think it's a normal thing, and maybe not, but I always feel like, why am I here? I shouldn't be doing this. Like I'm not like what do they call it? Like
Imposter syndrome.
yes, imposter. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. I'm like, you guys just gave me the keys to the castle. Are you sure about that? You knew some of the stuff I've done.
My knees are in
Yeah, yeah,
shambles. I can't do this. I can't.
yeah, I do. I have. Yeah, I definitely have. But again, I think that goes back to being humble and making
Mhm.
sure that you're always checking yourself because things can change in an instant. I don't care how you know, rich or popular you are, or famous you are. Things can
Mhm.
always change in an instant. So it's important to always have that grounding, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, that is it is a difficult thing, but as I develop and as I like find these new challenges and figure out things, and it makes me feel better about myself. Also knowing that not just my family, but at work, there's people like counting on me to make sure I know what I'm doing or I'm doing a good job. And
Hmm.
I have a couple people that work for me that definitely hold me accountable, and they're like, hey, you said you're going to do this. How come this isn't, how come you didn't do this? Or we have meetings about certain things, and we have a very good supervisor group that we can talk candidly to each other to make sure things are getting handled. And so it definitely helps having a good team around you to know that to know that the park is okay. Like today, it's snowing. I've been talking to one of my assistants there at the park, and offered to come in if I need to, and she's like, nope, everything's good. This is what we're doing, this and that, and now I don't have to clear snow, which I've done for forever. So
Having a good team is the world of difference, and
mhm.
having a good leader
Yeah,
makes the world of difference.
yeah.
I can go on about that. That's a whole other podcast episode.
Well, we can definitely schedule that as well, Andrea. But I don't want to keep you longer than I said. This was awesome. I appreciate you coming on here, and it's so great. Like I said, to see people we grew up with, like, oh, here's my new job, or here's my baby, or here's this, or like
Yeah.
just to see, like, because there was only 13 of us, to see like the cool things people are doing, or how their life is going, or where they're moving to, or like all these things. So it was cool to talk to you about it, to come on, and there's definitely time for more conversations to be had with you, and to get into more things. But again, I don't want to keep you longer than I said, but I really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. And anytime, Lorenzo, I'm happy to just have a conversation.
Thanks for downloading this episode of the Nerdball Podcast. If you want to reach out or be on the show, just search the Nerdball Podcast on any social media. If you want to email us, that is the nerdballpodcast@gmail.com. And of course, there's always YouTube, so you can go on there, subscribe to the Nerdball Podcast, and watch the podcast every week. As always, thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuddlefish Graphics, Big Daddy Graphics, and Perrysburg Junior High STEM Lab for always supporting the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.